Well, here we are with Harold Dennis. He's the lead actor in our film, The Visitor from Elsewhere. Harold, thanks for sitting down for a few moments with us to talk about the movie, talk about your career, where you're headed. First, why don't you cast your mind back to August 2007. You saw an ad in Craigslist looking for an actor in The Visitor from Elsewhere.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we put out just a general kind of casting call for actors to come and read for different parts.
Mm-hmm.
And what I remember is that we had about 8 or 10 actors show up that day. And what I remember is that when I first saw you, I thought, this man's an actor. This man is, he's an actor. I don't know why I thought that. It was just the way you carried yourself and your presence. And as soon as I saw you, I thought, well, we got the lead actor. We may not have Sid yet, but we have the main act. The guy. We have Edward.
Thank you. I prior to August, I had had a few years' experience doing this. As a matter of fact, I was taking classes at ETA on the south side of Chicago in 1997, and there was a bunch of people in class with me, and some of us formed an acting troupe where we'd meet like every Saturday in one of the guys' basement from like 10 to 2, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I just found out a couple minutes ago that one of the members, female, just passed away yesterday.
And what was her?
Connie Rice. And so I'm sitting here right now, in between states of excitement of doing this interview and the sadness of thinking about Connie passing away.
So you guys were in school together?
Yeah, we started off together in
high school?
ETA, no, in acting class.
Oh, okay.
97, and then we...
What's ETA?
That's a theater on the south side of Chicago.
Oh, it's
and they have acting school.
A theater troupe.
No, it's an acting school.
Acting school,
theater.
okay.
And then we formed the acting troupe together along with other actors after that. And we rehearsed for a whole year, and it's... then me and Connie got together with this guy, Fernando Jones, the blues guy, and we got involved in this blues play where we did 171 shows from 98 to 2000. And I hadn't seen Connie, since then.
Yeah. But
to find out that she just passed away yesterday is touches me because we spent a lot of time together. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's really sad to hear. And you don't know how she passed, right? And
not yet.
No,
I have to call some people.
It's too bad.
But anyway, I just had to get that off my chest
sure.
right now.
Sure, I understand.
It's real sad.
It is sad. I know I had a person that I worked with. Very young guy, and he died suddenly. He didn't make it home one night, and next thing I knew, his mom was calling and wondering where he was, and then we finally discovered that he had died, and it was very sudden, and it just takes you by surprise. It takes your breath away, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah.
And it was so sad, a young person passing away like that. But, back to the movie, anyway. It is a sad thing. So yeah, what I remember about you is the first time I saw you, you looked like an actor because you just had that bearing, and you had that thing about you where you knew what you were doing. You're very calm, and I love that about you. And so we offered you the role right away, the lead role, and you were just, what I love about you, Harold, is that you're always ready to go, we tease you, about being late once in a while, but the truth is you never complain about anything. You're always ready to work, and that's, on the production end of things, you couldn't ask for anything more than that, because, there are actors who do complain, who are not, like, raring to go, for whatever reason, but you're always there.
Well, I have to attribute that to the training, you know, with the couple years at ETA, the acting troupe, and then I've been studying with Ted Sarantos for the last 4.5 years. I feel like I can do pretty much anything.
How long have you wanted to be an actor?
Well, I used to do plays when I was in grammar school and church and school and stuff like that. But, you know, as far as being on TV and stuff like that, I thought that was impossible. And, you know, growing up here in Chicago, you know, the people that I knew were in the neighborhood, and nobody was an actor. But then my high school teacher went on to do Soul Food, The Fugitive, and other films, and he had speaking roles. It's like, wait a minute, Mr. Watson, the band teacher, who was this close to me, whereas I could touch him, and he was like a mentor to me, is making movies. I'm like, it's not impossible.
Exactly.
And so I started doing extra work a few years ago, and then I found myself in classes, the acting troupe, doing plays. I did a play, 171 shows. I was there when the blues was red hot. Every Friday and Saturday night for 2 years. Free to get in, $10 to get out. Yeah, awesome. And so I jumped in with both hands and both feet, and 10 years later, I'm feeling pretty good and pretty confident.
Oh, you should, because your skill is so apparent, you know, and you're like the anchor for us, because we're working with actors of all kinds of experience and skill levels, but we have you know, there, you know, with your skills and your professionalism, and you know, we can always you're the anchor. You know, everything revolves around you. You're almost in every shot now. So and it's fantastic that we have you. I feel so privileged to work with you. I know Dave does too.
Thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about like what you learned in your training, and you know, was being an actor today, like, can you go back and think what it was like before and what you thought acting was and what it really is, so people who are just starting out can maybe benefit from your experience? Well,
before I started, I didn't know really what it was to be an actor.
We all watch acting. We see people act, but do we really understand it? I don't know if we do.
We really don't know what goes behind what that person is formulating in their heads while they're on screen. I mean, by then they've learned their lines and what they're going to do, but then there's a whole process that in preparing for being on the screen or on stage for trained actors, you know. For me, I'll just speak for me. Before I was taking classes, I didn't know what it was. I just thought you'd get up there and you do something and you try to make people believe that you're doing it, and you just talk to that other person. And so now, 10, 11, 12 years later, I know that from all of the training, from ETA Okoro, Harold Johnson, he used to say, whatever you do, feel it. Feel it. Have that other person across from you feel what you're doing. Feel it. Both of you feel it, and the audience it'll radiate out to the audience, and they'll feel it. You know, feeling. Put feeling into everything, and see that corpse of that person there, so that you can draw the emotions. And so that's what I was operating on for about 6 years. And then I found myself with Ted Sarantos, January '04. Every Wednesday at noon I'm in class, almost religiously. And there's a lot of techniques that he teach. And when I sat in this class, maybe it was January '03, I was thinking to myself, this is where I need to be. So a year later I found myself in this class, and I have been there ever since. And he teaches a whole bunch of little things, which I'm at my master's state, I feel, in his class now, you know.